Hi, I'm Alex Drummond, Executive Editor for Metro Magazine, and welcome back to METROspectives. Today I'm joined by Marcos Sarmiento, COO at San Antonio, Texas OK Tours, which was named our Innovative Motorcoach Operator of the Year at this year's ABA Marketplace. Marcos joins me to not only discuss winning the award, but also how the operation started, how it's using social media marketing to grow its business, and much more. Thanks again for joining us. I hope you enjoy the conversation. All right, my guest today is Marcos Sarmiento. He is on the OK Tours team, which is the winner of our Innovative Motor Coach Operator of the Year this year. Congratulations. First, kind of your thoughts on winning award. What does it mean for the team there?
It means that our hard work is being noticed nationally. Uh, we're truly excited to have something like this pretty much highlight our company, and it takes a full team effort to get to this point, not just the sales, but also our awesome motor coach operators, our maintenance team, our operators, and pretty much even our all the way to our detailers and our people that sell even our individual trips and tours.
Yeah. Well, great. Just for our audience, can you talk a little bit about OK Tours, how it started and where you are today?
So we're a second generation going on third generation family owned tour bus and charter company based in San Antonio. My parents decided to get in the bus industry back in 93 and I hung around. I was dragged to all of the bus pickup locations and got to know what a bus was firsthand, spent summers on them. And we went anywhere from that first bus all the way to 24 units now in 2025.
Wow. And there's a lot of interesting things you guys do to market the company, and I kind of wanted to get to that shortly. But at first, I kind of wanted to ask, with COVID behind us now, hopefully, and everybody moving forward, can you talk a little bit about how that impacted the way that the company does business?
Yeah, so from going to it was spring break of 2020 when we were at the one of our peaks of travel to going that Monday to not doing anything at all
Right.
was definitely something that we had never even thought would ever happen. But it did happen, and it was a realization that we're not just a bus company, we're a people company, and having to relate all that everything that was going on in real time to our all of our team was very difficult, but it brought us a lot closer together because we got to spend time together. We brought everything back, um, went back to the basics, did a lot more onboard training, did a lot of things that we wish we could have did in the past, but we really improved our safety and speaking of our marketing as well, took a different approach to marketing our company because we were speaking to as many politicians as we could, trying to get on the news as much as we could. So we got really comfortable behind the camera to pretty much say, well, how are you being affected? Well, a lot of motor coach operators are family owned, and we're taking the biggest hit because there's a gray area between the people that were getting looked at, and we just felt like we didn't get that type of support around. So we had to do what we had to do. We knocked on doors, we were calling schools, we were doing everything that we could, and then we finally got a little creative and picked up our first iPhone and just started recording. Telling everybody our story, how we started, and what we offer because the it's very difficult to market a bus, but it's
Right.
not difficult to market the people and the team that put it all together. It's not just a bus that shows up. It's a professional motor coach operator that's leaving his family for days and days at a time. This our dispatching team that's on call all the time to kind of take those little sacrifices. So we highlight a lot of that in some of our content that we shoot, and we try to make it as fun and funny as we can. We always try our best to uh, make it funny just to make it more relatable.
Right. And how how has that worked? What kind of learning curve was this? I mean, from your peers' point of view, how difficult is this to get off the ground? And what are some of the results that you saw once you got everything in place?
So we've spoke to a lot of our friends and asked them their opinion on marketing companies, and it's very easy to go out there, take a picture of a bus, and loading up a team, but it's very difficult for motor coach operators and owners to get behind the camera and kind of just tell us who you are, because that's the most relatable part. Um, I was every time I saw a camera, I would kind of like duck out of the way. I didn't want to be in it. And now I'm the one with the camera. So if it's not myself, we have another media team as well that comes in 3 times a week. They pop in and they'll say, "Hey, block an hour out," and they'll start recording some of our either conversation or some of our daily process of whether it be us cleaning a motor coach, or the sales process of how what we do to answer a phone and making quotes and following up, and then also as well as when operators coming in doing pre-trips. So a lot of the outside world that doesn't know motor coaches doesn't know what all goes into that. They just want their bottom price. But to highlight those safety measures that we do, really pretty much it brings it to life, and they get to really see, oh, this is what we're paying for. We're paying for that quality service and that full team that we have there.
And how's this paid off? I mean, do you get customers that are like, oh, I saw your video, oh yeah, you're the funny guy from the video or anything like
Yeah.
that? Or
You'd be surprised. We go to a bunch of schools and a lot of different events, and they're like, "Hey, I've seen you before," and I'm like, "Where?" And then it doesn't click until, "Yeah,
yeah.
you made that video on the bus," and it definitely helps tremendously because it's free marketing. If you get into it and do it the right way, you really could see the turnaround of just the different type of clients that you get. Your everyday clients that are just searching for charter buses in your area, and
Mhm.
then they stumble across one of your videos. We post about 5 to 10 videos a week,
Okay.
along with 5 to 10 different pictures highlighting um, our equipment or our process, and then also some reviews as well. So us being present in social media has given us that advantage, that we've noticed just as the first day we started recording.
And it's interesting. I mean, it's similar to, I mean, what we do here. I mean, this is a new medium. This is like the podcast video cast. This is something that we just started during the pandemic. It was a way to get news out faster. We're not really sure how things were going, how long it was going to last, how it was impacting the industry right away. Um, how savvy were you with what you're doing? And how difficult was it to kind of to get on board and I mean, the ideas are there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
but
It,
the, how were you able to kind of get the ball really going and overcome any like technical difficulties that you may have had personally or, the team?
if if we're looking at videos that we shot in 2019 before the pandemic, we started getting into it a little bit, and then we took a break, and then we started heavy in 2020. If you look at those videos now, they're atrocious. They're not that good.
Right.
But I mean, it's all a learning curve. It's like anything. If you put in the work and you do a little bit of research, the people start commending us from different parts. I love going to the ABA and the UMA and all these different conferences, and they come out, "Oh my goodness, we've seen your videos. Where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from New York." "Oh, I'm from North Carolina." And it's like, okay, we're targeting the audience that we want, which are, other motor coach operators that are coming into our city. And, sometimes something happens where they need a motor coach, or they need service, or they need something. Being able to be, top 5 in your city just by putting out the content goes a long way. But it was a struggle. Some of our videos we would record, and then we'd be ready to, upload them, and there'd be no sound.
Yeah.
Or there'd be a grainy sound, or the video would be distorted. So it took a while, but you know, getting somebody to actually come in now and shoot our videos and we just go about our everyday
Mm.
way has done wonders. It's really its own, I would say, as important as a sales or a compliance person now at this point, because that team that we have generates so much more eyeballs into our company.
Right. And kind of shifting gears a little bit and getting to kind of the service you provide. Can you talk a little bit about the service you provide and some of the ways that you kind of ensure safety and some of the things that you've done to kind of make sure the trip for your passengers goes as efficiently as possible?
So yeah, it all starts in-house. We start with educating our operators with motor coach MCI training before they even step on a bus to even do a road test. We want to make sure that they're understanding the motor coach before that. So MCI offers a good training program once you start buying some of their units, and it's perfect because we're pretty much 90% MCIs. So it helps with the flow. We've also done some PAX training as well. So every month we shoot out an email with different stuff highlighting and different training modules as well. I know that some of our operators call and they're like, "Oh my, it's so much," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's so much, but it's something that we don't want to experience. We let the whatever's happening in the industry, we learn from their mistakes." So that's just on the operator side. On the maintenance side, we focus really heavy on just all the preventative maintenance, not by just saying it, but by calling our Texas DPS, inviting them in every quarter to inspect all of our buses here, so they're not being inspected on the road.
Mhm.
We have some of the highest numbers of inspections. I think we have close to 220 for 24 units, and they're like, "Why do you get inspected so much?" Because we volunteer. We want to know. We want to have a certain set of eyes looking at them as well, not just us, because we know what's wrong with our motor coaches whenever our operators write defects up. But having somebody at the state level and even at the federal level to come and inspect our buses it scares a lot of people. But if you on the same team with them, it would help you. It helps you a lot with just that safety down the road.
Yeah. And you guys also use video on board your vehicles, correct?
Correct. So we have Samsara cameras. Oh, we also have we use the Samsara cameras on board with the GPS tracking, and then the Wingman Bindex. So it
Hmm.
tracks pretty much if you're too close, if distracted driving, something that it helps with that extra little peace of mind, especially going on at night. You never know where another car could be just cutting out of the lane, and it helps with the flow of the movement of the motor coach.
Yeah. And so this technology and this training, I mean, how much has it played into the retention of your drivers and maybe even attraction of new drivers coming into the door?
Yeah, so we get a lot of operators that first start and they're like, "Wow, this is I'm never even knew that this was a feature on a motor coach, or I've never even done this." And we're like, "Well, that's why we've learned from past experiences."
Right.
It's opened up a lot of eyes as well. And some people, when they do come and do the application process, we weed them out at that point. If they can't complete the training process there, just the computer side of it, then we don't feel comfortable with them being on a motor coach that's has so many lives behind them. So that's how we're able to, check in as well. Are you paying attention? We have our driver training room as well. That's where they complete all of their exams, and we could see like, hey, are they engaged? Are they distracted? Are they on their phone? I mean, if you're distracted on your phone during training, chances are you're going to be distracted on your phone on the road.
Right. And it's interesting. So I was thinking motor coach operators, I mean, you're looking for better ways, the operations are looking for better ways to ensure safety, run more efficiently, and that sort of thing. There's a lot of technology out there right now. How does OK Tours kind of weigh what can make an impact at their operation versus, what may just kind of be a frill?
Yeah, so with the technology that we have in place, which is something like Coach Manager, our software that we use, and the vehicle maintenance portion of it, we're able to be more effective when, an operator writes something up about a defect. It's able to be reported in real time, and if it's something that we need to replace, then and there we can replace it as it's coming in instead of waiting weeks and weeks on a time until something goes out.
Mhm.
So having programs in place, we also have fleet integrations tied into our program as well. So when a bus comes in, we have a board that lights up and it shows when the next bus is going to be going out, how much time they have left, how many days they're going to be gone. So that preps the detailers with knowing how much chemicals and paper towels and everything else
Mm.
they're going to be needing. So that's been a blessing on its own right there.
Yeah. And you were mentioning, as far as giving back to the industry, you're mentioning that you've got something that you do regularly. Can you talk a little bit about, the professional setup you have there and what it is you do to kind of give back to the industry?
Yeah. So um, being getting our media volume up, we like highlighting other motor coach companies as well that trying to get them behind the camera view and getting them to promote their vehicles as well. Video content and uh, pictures go a long way, and people want to be able to see what does your company look like. We want to see what bus is going to show up before it shows up so that we're
Right.
not not in the know. So we have partnered with a lot of other motor coach operators, and kind of told them, hey, jump on the ship too, jump on the bus
Yeah.
too. It's painful the first two or three times, and you probably won't want to rewatch them the first two or three times. But once you get later on down, and after you get a few months of experience, then it becomes fun. It gives you that second wind of why we got into the industry, and it's always been to help other people, help provide a good safety service, a good safe quality service.
Yeah.
And my goal has always been to help the industry out with whatever little knowledge I have, because what the people I used to look up 10, 15 years ago, I took a lot of their ideas, and now we have a lot of people that are coming into this industry and taking some of our ideas, and that's what they're for. They're not just for us to just hold and keep. It's there for everybody, and it really, I take a lot of pleasure in people coming up and just asking, well, what kind of setup do you use? It doesn't have to be anything too fancy. Just
Right.
if it comes from the heart, people will see that.
Yeah. Has to be rewarding to give back. I mean, being that you grew up in the industry, right? So it has to be good to give something back to it as well as what you've taken to help build the company up.
For sure, for sure.
I guess maybe the last thing is if you could talk a little bit about OK Tour's future, looking into 25 and beyond, what are some of the goals you guys have set, and what are some of the things we could kind of look forward to you guys doing?
So, I mean, just every year our goal is to continue to grow, but that's a very it's a very broad statement. To do that, you have to invest in your team, invest in your equipment, and we've just purchased another acre and a half connected to us.
Hmm.
So we're getting ready to pour cement and hopefully have more office space, and also more parking space as well for visitors that are coming in if they ever need to come and wash and dump. We can do that. San Antonio's a pretty big tourist
Yeah.
city. And whenever somebody comes into the San Antonio area, we'd like to think, hey, call us. We're available all the time. And if we were in your city, we would, like to do the same as well.
Well, great. Thanks for the time, Marcos. Anything you'd like to add about the award or about the operation that I probably should have asked?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's truly a full team effort for us to have this award. I know the company's name is on it, but I mean, it's just we're so excited to have something that we can highlight as soon as you walk in and present to different people that are watching us. I mean, it just we were an outsider looking in many years ago, thinking, man, we would never be able to get to something at that level, and now we're being recognized nationally. So it's definitely an honor, and we're so thankful for it.
Well, thanks for being an innovative operator, and thanks for being so great that we're really excited to present the award, and excited that you give back so much to the industry, and that you're really kind of showing the way for the future.
Thank you. No, thank you so much. And if there's anything you need, hey, I'm always available.
Great. Well, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it.